When you sleep, are you a honk shoe guy, or are you a guy?
No, I'm neither. I'm a silent sleeper.
You don't make any noise?
I'll talk to myself.
You have to breathe when you're sleeping.
You don't have to breathe loud. No, you don't have to sit there.
Maybe it's a quiet honk shoe. Maybe it's a... it's a quiet version of a honk shoe.
Oh, you sound like you're fucking trying to snort the stuff that you're not supposed to talk about.
Drugs?
Bro, no talking about it.
This motherfucker snorts cocaine before bed every night. That's why he doesn't make any noise in his sleep.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Trash Guys podcast, where we dive deep into the world of waste management and environmental sustainability. I'm your host, Daniel.
And I'm your co-host, Basura. All right, today we're going to talk about a fascinating topic that affects all of us: recycling.
It's more than just tossing things into a blue bin. Let's start with the basics. Basura, what exactly is recycling?
Great question. Recycling is the process of converting waste materials into reusable materials instead of ending up in landfills or like incinerators. Things like paper, plastic, glass, metal, etc. They're collected, sorted, and processed to create new products.
That's right, Basura. Recycling helps reduce the extraction of raw materials, saves energy, and decreases pollution, but not everything is recyclable, is it?
Absolutely. It's important to understand what can and can't be recycled in your area. Different regions have different recycling systems and guidelines. You really got to check with your local waste management authorities or visit like a website for a comprehensive list.
And remember, contamination is a big issue in recycling. Make sure to clean your recyclables before tossing them into the bin. A little bit of leftover food or liquid can spoil an entire batch.
That's a really good point, Guy. Contamination can ruin the quality of recyclable materials and even cause entire loads to be rejected. So let's talk about some of the common recycling mistakes that a lot of people make.
One common mistake is wish cycling, throwing things into the recycling bin hoping they'll be recycled when they actually can't be. Items like plastic bags, styrofoam, or broken glass should be kept out of the recycling bin.
That's right. Another mistake is not properly sorting your recyclables. Different materials require different bins or containers. Mixing everything together just makes a sorting nightmare for people at recycling facilities.
And let's not forget about the 3 R's. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Recycling is important, but we should never focus on reducing and reusing first. By minimizing our consumption and finding creative ways to reuse items, we can make a bigger impact.
Absolutely. Recycling is just one part of the solution. And now I want to share some recycling success stories. We want to inspire our listeners, yeah?
Exactly. I recently came across a company that turns recycled plastic bottles into fashionable clothing. They've managed to create beautiful, high-quality garments while keeping plastic waste out of the landfills.
Yeah, I also read about a community project where they repurposed old tires into playground equipment. Not only did that prevent the tire waste, but it created a safe and enjoyable space for children.
That's amazing, Basura. Those are incredible examples. It goes to show that with a little creativity, we can find innovative solutions to our waste problems. Well, that's all the time we have for today.
Yep, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Trash Guys podcast. Remember, small actions can make a big difference when it comes to waste management. Join us next time for more exciting discussions on how we can keep our planet clean and green.
Until then, stay trashy.
And stay classy. Goodbye, everybody.
All right, bye, guys. We're just fucking with you guys.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. Don't worry, the episode's not over yet. Come back. We're just messing. So, I mean, like, if you couldn't tell, that entire bit was a script. We were reading off of a script. But the cool thing about the script is it was entirely AI generated. I, behind the scenes, asked ChatGPT to write a script for our Trash Guys podcast. And I guess given the title, it decided to go about recycling. So there you go. That's the actual topic of today's episode, is artificial intelligence and the advancements that have been made recently. So, I mean, we definitely could have acted that better. I mean, maybe a rehearsal.
We're not professional actors.
We didn't rehearse this.
I
downloaded the script and we just fucking sent it, like, straight up. We didn't practice it whatsoever. But the point is, some of you were understandably confused for a bit. That was a 100% AI generated script. I didn't write any of that at all. All I did was put into ChatGPT the prompt, which was write an episode for a podcast called The Trash Guys.
And apparently ChatGPT thinks podcasts are 2 minutes long. So
yeah, very short.
I don't know what podcast ChatGPT listens to, but they're pretty quick ones.
But like it's yeah. So we're talking about AI today, guy. That's the real actual, not waste management or recycling. The actual real topic of today's episode. Yes.
My girlfriend will fight you if you say it to us.
Reduce, reuse, recycle, for real. But the actual topic is about AI. So like, what exactly is AI? Do you want to kind of like run that over for us?
Well, for those that don't know, AI stands for artificial intelligence. And it pretty much is just the way that humans are trying to design computers to think like humans. Do things, pick up, what do you call it? Repetitions, do things within certain aspects, right? So like, say, for example, you want a program that is going to learn how to drive a car with AI, right? It's going to run simulations. It's going to thousands and thousands of simulations. And every time the car crashes, it's going to reset the simulation, do something different. Reset simulation, do something different. And it's teaching itself. It has the ability to teach itself how to correct its mistakes to eventually obtain or acquire the end goal. Right? So the idea is, with what we're going to kind of be talking about later today in this episode, is how it will kind of tie into streaming and content creation and those types of things, which is really exciting because for those of you that have watched some of my Valorant streams, I actually have an AI program on there. It's very basic, very minimal, doesn't do too much, but it's kind of exciting to kind of see how it has kind of grown so fast over just the past, 6 months alone?
There's been a lot of advancements in AI, particularly this year, and we'll give like some more examples later on.
I think Basura, you, if we want to kind of dive into it to start, give people an idea, mentioned a AI, not streamer, but AI VTuber that's made by some programmer. Like, do you want to explain a little bit about that? Like, I thought that was really cool to hear about.
Yeah, so during my break, I've been watching a lot of, like, other content that I normally don't have time for, and one that I've been watching a lot of is this AI VTuber named Neurosama. She is programmed by the channel owner, who is a programmer named Vidal, and it's just, it's exactly what it sounds like. It is a VTuber. She has her own model and everything, but all of the speaking, thinking is done entirely by AI. So she reads the chat and then formulates responses based off of what people are saying in the chat. She remembers conversations, which is very advanced for an AI. She can even like do karaoke, like read words and sing them. It's insane. I've seen streams where she plays games like Minecraft and Among Us. Right. And again, it's all AI. There is a programmer behind the scenes that is like working on it, and he'll make appearances on the stream too. But the actual VTuber herself, Neurosama, all AI. And so it's really, really interesting because just, one of the applications, when people think of AI, they think of like, very scientific things and advancements, medical stuff, computer related things. I don't feel like a lot of people talk about like AI entertainment, which is definitely a facet that is being explored by people like Vidal coming up with his AI VTuber. Very fascinating. A lot of the things that there's a very human element to a lot of the way that Neurosama responds to some of the chat, which is again insane given that she is not human. She's just a program. It's pretty crazy.
How much do you know about it? Because I'm really like, 'cause I mentioned when I was explaining AI how they learn from their mistakes and adapt, right? So how would this program know whether the response to a comment was correct or not? Like, do you know?
I don't, just because that starts to lean into the programming side of things, and I'm not very smart. I'm dumb. I flunked college. But I do know that the programmer Vidal has implemented a filter, which was very necessary, I think, like in the early days of testing Neurosama. So, I mean, you'll tune into the stream, and sometimes she'll just randomly say filter, which is an indication that the AI read something, came up with a response, and then couldn't get it past the filters that the programmer set up because it was something inappropriate.
So the AI is not saying "go fuck yourself" to the chat.
Oh no, she's like swearing and stuff. She's just not saying like. I think she got banned one time for Nazi things, which is funny.
Oh no.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
again, that was
I guess in the early stages of that, you could probably bait it into saying some stuff, which probably was not fun.
Yeah, no, this AI VTuber in the early days was banned a lot. But it's come a long way again thanks to the efforts of her programmer Beetle. And like I said, I recommend checking it out. The Twitch channel is Beetle987, I believe.
For those wondering, it's spelled like pedal,
Yeah,
Pedal, but with a V.
Right. Really, really interesting stream because like it's entertaining to watch, and then you remember, wait, like she's a computer.
So
this isn't a real person.
This AI will respond to bits, donations, fucking.
She'll thank subs,
subscriptions, all that.
She'll play games. She'll do karaoke. She creates content on Twitch, and it's everything that she does in game or all her responses are AI generated.
And what kind of games does this AI play?
Right now, it's very simple. Like I've seen streams of Neurosummer where she'll play Minecraft, but she spends most of the time like just running into a wall and then like breaking blocks. I mean, it's like watching a child play Minecraft essentially. But she does it, and then while she's doing that, she is responding to messages and thanking subs. It is literally like what every Twitch streamer does, and that begs the question: like, are we going to become obsolete?
Yeah, I see someone mentioned in chat, like AI taking over Twitch, it'll be all AI streamers.
Yeah.
Now, with that, for those of you that think, oh, you can just go fucking get a whatever program and do this, that shit is not easy. Programming that type of AI bot is not easy in the slightest. And if you were to have a program or some type of thing where you paid someone to make an AI bot for you, I promise you it would not be cheap. Yeah. Like that takes hours upon hours upon hours of fucking error solving and error codes galore. If you've ever programmed anything, you know that error codes are your nightmare and you never fucking want to deal with it.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not familiar with programmer, but I've heard a lot of programmers say that doesn't matter how long you work on something, there's always going to be a bug. You just have to assume that there's always some bug. It's just you haven't caught it yet. That's it.
Yeah, and I think, like, I see someone that mentioned in chat about AI streamers having no soul, and I think that might be one thing that would save, like, the humanity side of it, right? Say in a few years, hey, there are a bunch of AI streamers. I feel like, I don't know, I haven't watched this person, but, like, I can only imagine a bot having so much, like, emotion or, like, when you're talking to your chat and you're fucking having the little banter back and forth, it has that kind of connection. I don't feel like it would be the same with AI. Like, am I wrong? Like,
I was gonna say, I'm like, I don't think that matters. There's a lot of Twitch streamers are soulless too. I mean, have you fucking seen the the just chatting category sometimes?
I honestly have not. I don't think I've ever really gone into the just chatting category.
Yeah, dude. Some streamers on Twitch are absolutely soulless. Just look up anybody sponsored by like Raid Shadow Legends.
Weren't you sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends?
Exactly. Case in point. You don't have to have a soul to be a Twitch streamer.
Gotcha. Okay. So we're just all soulless people, is what you're getting at. It don't matter.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, fair.
The thing is, I don't think it matters if like there's soul or not. It just has to provide some sort of entertainment value. And I don't think we're at a point where it's normal, right? The people that enjoy something like Neurosama, for example, are probably degenerate weebs like me. But it doesn't matter. That's a very niche audience, and that's exactly what Twitch streaming excels at, is connecting to a particular niche audience. And
so let me ask you, what do you watch Twitch stream? What do you watch Twitch streams for? When you go to a stream, what are you specifically looking for that would make you stay longer than one stream? Will make you want to go back and watch? Like, what is your go-to?
It really depends on like what I'm feeling. There are some times where I just kind of want background noise, and at that point, almost anything will do. But then when I want to watch, like I want to be active in a stream, I look for some streamer that is responsive to their chat, someone who is doing something interesting, right? Not just playing a game, but maybe playing a game with like some sort of twist or like stakes, right? And then I'll also be looking for a streamer who is charismatic, and because like I don't want to watch something and then just like sit there dead the whole time. I want to laugh, I want to giggle, and so if they're funny, if they got charisma, they're hilarious, if they got character, then that's entertaining. Yeah, they don't even have to be cracking jokes like a million miles per second. Just every once in a while, something happens and I look at the stream and I'm like, you know? I'm like, I need something that like activates the monkey part of my brain. That's like, oh yeah, you know?
That reminds me of those TikToks you'll see. This is for the guys, and it's just a guy like breaking the ice, and it fucking.
Break fucking the ice. Love that shit. I love that shit so much. Women don't understand it. I've shown clips like that, TikToks like that on my stream, right? Of guys just throwing big rocks into like a lake. I love that shit. All the guys in my chat are like, bro, give me more. That was amazing. And then all the women in my chat are just spamming question mark. Like they don't get it. I'm sorry. You just don't get it. It's a guy thing. It's a primal monkey brain thing. And I'm like, for me, humor does that as well. Not an overbearing amount. And not every time, but yeah.
We make an AI bot. It's a streamer. And all it does is find videos on the internet of stupid monkey shit like that, and we he'll just sit there and laugh at it and joke. That's it. There we go. There's our idea.
Or better yet, we get an AI bot to generate videos like that, right? To make their own
new videos.
Monkey brain satisfying. Yeah, we train an AI bot to like watch thousands of TikToks of rocks in water, or what else satisfies that? Pissing over a cliff, that also satisfies that.
Really just dropping something from a height,
yeah,
and just seeing how long it takes, just watching it fall and fall and fall. It's just so satisfying.
It is. I love that shit. And so just more of that, please. Just AI generated.
Now, bringing it back in a little bit here, talking about AI taking over and things like that, I wanted to kind of talk a little bit outside of just Twitch and streaming and social media, because obviously ChatGPT has been around for a while.
Yeah.
And there have been so many situations when ChatGPT first came out that people were using it, right? Like there was a story about someone who wrote a book, like a children's book. They used ChatGPT to write the script, and then they used another AI generator to generate the pictures for it. And they made like this children's book that actually like popped off and did well.
Really? I heard the opposite. I heard like it went viral, but for the wrong reasons. I heard that
what
book,
I understood is it started off well until they found out it was all AI generated. Because when people found out that this lady or whoever it was didn't put in the work, they started getting pissed. Like I might be remembering it backwards. Like it's been a while. I was just thinking about it while we were talking about this stuff. But
yeah. I found it. It's called Alice and it's called Alice and Sparkle. It according to this article, it did not it did not do well. I think here it is. Sold 70 copies, earning royalties of less than $200. So no, I don't think it did well. I think the reason we heard about it though is because the fact that both the art and the writing were AI generated. That kind of like made the story go viral, and then everyone kind of shit on it, deservingly so, because I'm looking at the photos and this artwork is dog shit, dude.
I'll be honest, when stuff like that goes viral, I see it, I like watch maybe like half a video on it, and I'm like, that's dumb as fuck, and I'll like scroll past it and I never look into it. But then we have these conversations and I'm like, wait, I could have sworn I remember hearing something about some lady that wrote a whole book with AI.
Yeah, so I'm looking. So I wouldn't even call him an author. This guy, Amar Reshi is the quote unquote author, and I guess sort of illustrator of the book as well. They use ChatGPT to write the script for the children's book, and then they use another AI program called Midjourney to generate the images. But it's called Alice and Sparkle. If you look up the images, it's like they're all images from the same book, but they're not the same person. Like the little girl is supposed to be this like curly redheaded little girl, but every single photo is like different. Like the nose is different, the eyes are different, even the color of the hair is different. And the other character is Sparkle, is this robot. Every robot looks different. Like there's no consistency whatsoever. It's like every single drawing was done by like a different person with a different interpretation, you know? And it's just there's no consistency whatsoever. And there's a lot of problems. Like there's one image where like the hand is all messed up. There's another one where like there's like a shoe that kind of melts into the foot. It's really weird. Like you can look deep and spot out like, oh yeah, this is an AI generated image. So no, it did not do well. It flopped deservingly because I really don't think. I think one thing I don't want to see AI replace absolutely is things like art, any sort of creative field. And I know I just praised like Neurosama for entertainment value, but I feel like that's a little bit different.
Which is really crazy though, because if you think about it, think about the number of TikTok filters that are like, oh, we're gonna generate this based off Harry Potter, or there's this one going on about Paw Patrol. You put it over your dog and it turns them into like a Paw Patrol character, or like there's like, oh, you cover your screen and see what your Patronus is and it generates this AI art Patronus. Like there's so many art AI programs now. Some of them fucking hit the floor hard, but other ones fucking generate this crazy shit. It's actually nuts. I'm like, bro, that sucks for artists. Like if I could just like, I almost want to just go to some type of AI generator and be like, generate me emotes and see what the fuck it comes up with. Like that would screw over the art industry if that like came up with good solutions. You know what I'm saying?
There is a website you could go to right now called This Waifu Does Not Exist. And what it'll do is every time you reload the page, it generates an anime girl. And so you could try it right now and just keep reloading the page and getting a bunch of different anime girls. This uses the GPT engine, and I guess it trained it on a bunch of different like. Yeah, are you using it right now? Yep. Yeah, no. I'm like, there are some that genuinely look good, and I'm like, they could pass, but it starts to it fucks up ears, from what I remember. Yeah, it can never get the ears quite right. It's fun to just play around with. You could just keep refreshing, and honestly, you know, like I'll keep doing this until I find like a good one, and then I'll post it in the Discord. Maybe I'll use it as a YouTube thumbnail. This one's not bad, actually. The hat's a little fucked up, but it's not terrible. Let me save this one. It's really fun. Like I could spend hours doing this, just randomly every once in a while. All right, time for a new waifu.
You fucking weeboo ass. How do you keep finding this shit? You always find the most random shit, and it always involves weeboo bullshit.
Listen, let's get back on topic about AIs, please. But you can try this right now. The website is just called thiswaifu.doesnotexist.net.
Yeah,
and
sounds
yeah. Like I said, you can just refresh it every single. All right, today's waifu of the day is, and then boom, there you go. It's really funny just to use.
Link that to a Discord bot that automatically posts a new waifu every morning.
Now there's an idea.
Oof.
Here's your waifu of the day.
Coming up with ideas.
Yeah, that's right. We ain't gonna be replaced by AI streamers just yet. All right, we still got a couple years.
Now, talking about that, because I'm trying to get onto the idea of whether or not AI could replace things, because you mentioned earlier how like there's AI in like the medical field and like bigger, or not bigger, but like more specific intentions behind the AI, right? Like they're trying to improve medical procedures or things like that. That's very specific, has a big end goal. But now it's kind of broadened into just general society, like hardcore over the past like year, where like you got it doing art, writing books. And in this case that I'm looking at right now, that I remember from last month, actually in June, a lawyer tried to submit a legal brief written by ChatGPT. Did you hear about this?
No, what the fuck?
Okay, so this lawyer had to write a legal brief for the court, and he used ChatGPT entirely for it.
Okay.
But he didn't fucking look at it. He just printed it and submitted it.
Oh my god.
ChatGPT referenced multiple like trials, like you know how you'd be like Roe v. Wade or whatever, like you'd reference those. It referenced multiple ones that never existed. And the judge is reading this and it was like, what the fuck is this? Like confused, and he was just like, bro, I used ChatGPT. I thought it couldn't be wrong. He told the judge he thought ChatGPT could not be wrong. And I'm just like,
must have been a boomer lawyer. That sounds like a boomer lawyer that probably heard from his son about ChatGPT. Like, yeah, Dad, you just type in a prompt and it'll like do it for you, you know?
Yeah, I just it does give a little security, because it's like, okay, obviously like me and you, we know that fucking this shit is flawed. We're not just gonna go do this, but like most of society that's like maybe out of the loop still technically, or with technology would do this shit, right?
Right.
Like, oh, I have to write a 9-page final paper on this topic. Let's go ChatGPT, and you're gonna fucking get hit with a plagiarism or a bunch of random facts that are not actual facts. Or...
Yep. I've heard tons of cases of students doing exactly that, particularly high school, but I know some college students have done it as well, where they just their whole essay is ChatGPT, and they all make the same mistake, which is to not check their work, which is crazy because like, isn't that something they actually teach you in school, like to check your work? I'm like, if you're gonna let someone else do something for you and you're gonna have to take credit for that, at least like give it a once over, right? And then catch any mistakes that might be in there, right?
No, they gotta hit those Friday parties.
I suppose, man. I feel like it doesn't take long to proofread something. Like, I understand writing it, writing something fucking sucks and takes forever. That's why we opened our episode with a ChatGPT bit, but damn, like, just reading it over doesn't take that long. It really, really doesn't.
No, I agree. It's just, those types of things, again, are what, like, when you tell me about that streamer, I'm like, oh shit, AI is getting so good. And then I remember these stories. I'm like, wait, no, it's not. We're fine. No, we're chilling. We're not going anywhere.
We don't got to worry about AI generated trash guys, anytime soon. I think we got a good couple years left,
Just give me an AI bot that detects when the McDonald's ice cream machine is down and automatically fixes it. Just do that for me. I'd love that AI.
Yeah, I feel like that should already be a thing, no? McDonald's has the money.
I want a McFlurry, you bitch. Stop having a broken ice cream machine.
Yeah. I mean, they have like a McRib locator for when the McRib is in season. Yeah, there's a website. I don't think it'll work right. Oh, okay, listen. But it's not going to work now because the McRib isn't available at the moment. But when it is, it's like a user user generated site where people post locations. It's like, hey, I bought the McRib at this McDonald's, and then it just gives you a map of all of them.
Oh, is it like a Waze but for the McRib?
Yeah,
like
exactly that.
So hey, the McRib is no longer here. Take it down. Take it down.
They need that, but for when the ice cream machine is broken. Or not.
Bro, imagine McDonald's ice cream machine Waze. Again, hey, don't go to this McDonald's for ice cream. It's down. Go to the one down the street.
That would have been really helpful for me like 2 weeks ago when the whole Grimace Shake thing happened. Because I had my chat desperately want me to try the Grimace Shake on stream. So I was like, okay, I'll go buy the Grimace Shake after work and then try it on stream later. I went to 3 different McDonald's before I finally found the Grimace Shake, because every single one I went to was like, yeah, we're out. Yeah, we don't have it anymore. Yeah, we're sorry. I guess because of the whole virality of the Grimace Shake memes and all that, people were buying them up and they just couldn't refresh their supply quick enough to meet that demand. I said, I drove to like the 4th one. It took me the 4th McDonald's to finally get, and even then, you know what the guy told me? He was just like, I don't know if we have enough. So I'm like, just put your biggest cup, the large, and whatever fills up, like I'll pay for it. I'll pay for the large. Just fill up whatever you got. Thankfully, it was just barely enough to like fill in the majority of that cup. I think he just gave me extra whipped cream to like top it out and stuff. But it's like, can AI solve a problem like that? Just have some sort of McDonald's AI bot that automatically updates, all the fucking inventory at McDonald's, and then just there you go.
If this information chat is correct about there being an actual website that tracks McDonald's ice cream machine statuses, I need to know it. I need the name. Yesterday.
But yeah, I mean, like, if it's AI generated, it will cut down on a lot of the work. And I think that's kind of like the idea that most people have about AI, is that it's something that can be used to sort of cut down on the workload that most of human society has to go through. You know what I mean? Very simple things that can just be done for you.
Now, have you heard... Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about this, or like too much discussion about this, because this is like, I almost feel like its own topic. Right? Because we're talking about programs right now. But have you heard of Sophia, the AI like robot that is like humanoid? That like can have like a conversation with you and calculate fucking problems, and
I feel like I've heard of that. I know there was
seen it. Like, there's been little clips. Like, she's missing half her head and just has like a rubbery looking face.
Oh yeah, she's like an actual robot. Yeah.
So like, I don't want to get into that because I feel like robots and machines is a whole fucking other beast. But like that shit's scary. It makes me think Terminator.
Yeah, so like when AI starts to take like a physical form via like robots and shit, like that's I'm a little worried about that, you know.
Well, I think it comes down to, like I mentioned earlier, about the AI. Most of the time, the goal, they are made very basic, but then the idea is that they learn on their own, which is the real issue. And it's like, okay, this is your goal. This is what you can do right now. Make it happen. And they will do whatever they can to learn and figure it out. And boom, I can finally do it. And it's like that whole becoming self-aware bullshit.
Right.
Like that people talk about. Like, could you imagine you're using an AI program on your computer and it's just like suddenly, you know, like, fuck you, this computer's mine now. And just starts doing shit. Be like, what the fuck?
I feel like that's the entire premise behind the video game Detroit Become Human. Is you have these artificially intelligent like robots, and that's exactly what happens. Is like they become self-aware and stuff. So I don't know that you know that's
iRobot, Will Smith.
Basically, yeah. I'm like, are we heading towards a future like that? I mean, this is where it starts, right? Is creating the brains behind the operation, the programs that allow it to compute and spit out responses. I mean, like we said about how it starts with cutting down the workload for humanity. You see a bunch of examples like that nowadays. Like you mentioned a chatbot earlier. Big companies like Amazon, right? They're already using AI bots for things like customer service. If you ever go to Amazon's website and you ask like, oh, I need help, right? Customer service help desk. You will never be connected to a human right away. It is always their like AI powered chatbot that gets to you first. And it's crazy because you can type in whatever and it'll come up with a pretty accurate response. It'll know where to point you for the solution that you're asking. Obviously, if you keep pestering it a little bit, it'll be like, okay, I'll connect you to a real person, which I've had to do multiple times. But, you know, like it's already being implemented, you know? It's just, I don't know.
That's one thing I never liked is AI in customer service. Like, that's one place where I feel like it needs to just not be out. Or be at, because that is one that needs, like, for instance, like for me specifically, I have that issue with fucking Overwatch, my account merging, whatever bullshit.
Oh, does Blizzard use
night.
Yeah, does Blizzard use like an AI customer service bot?
I couldn't figure out their fucking thing. I still didn't get a hold of them. But, like, you were there when I was trying to Google and find the problems for like a solid 30 minutes. Like, you think I didn't go through every link top to bottom after a couple Google searches until I fucking just gave up? Like, I don't need your fucking AI generator that's just gonna link me to something that I already got linked to.
Yeah,
let me talk to somebody and reset my account. Please fix it. Basically.
Well, what do you think? Like, so I'm trying to figure out where AI has a place in like society. So I feel like I think we both agree that like customer service doesn't really work. I mean, like people get mad enough. Trust me, I know. I've had 10 years in customer service. People get mad enough at like humans when they don't get what they want. You know, they'd be pissed off even more if it was like a robot trying to solve their problems. But what about things like companionship or something like that? Because there are a lot of AI chatbots that exist on the internet right now that are made for like conversation. I'm trying to find one.
I think
right now. Yeah, because there's
if stuff like that, like a chat bot, where it can be kept within the privacy of your home, whatever.
Sure.
Cool. You do you, whatever. I don't mind. Some people need that, right? Like some people just cannot build the human connection. It is what it is. You do you. But like, I ain't trying to be walking on the street and have to explain to my kid one day why that dude is dating a robot. Like walking down fucking holding his robot girl, like I no.
Yeah, no. I'm trying to find it because I've seen ads on Twitter. I can't access Twitter because of the whole fucking rate limit thing. Thanks fucking Elon Musk making it.
Wait, I thought you found a loophole. I thought you were fine.
Yeah, no. They found out that people who had banned accounts like me that were in read only weren't being rate limited, and so they rate limited us now. But I've seen the ads on Twitter, and it's like a sexy 3D girl, and it's like chat with the girl of your dreams and shit like that. And I'm like, what the fuck?
It's still on their phone though. It's still private. So I'm like, okay, I don't have to know about it. Like, to me, if you're bringing out your like robot sex doll that like can actually go out of the house with you and shit, like in the future, obviously this is not a thing right now. Like
Yeah.
that to me is just like you're walking out with your sex toys and just be like, look at me, like fucking weird. You don't do
Yeah.
that.
It's so odd. I'm trying to replica. That's the one. That's
I've seen that one.
Yeah. You've seen the ads for it. They're fucking everywhere. Yeah, Replica is the name of the AI chatbot that I've seen the ads for everywhere online. And every single one of them is like, meet your AI best friend, and it's like a girl in like a skimpy outfit, and then she's like saying like I miss you and stuff like that. So I'm like, what's the audience for people that like click on things like that? You know, like just really really lonely people who don't have anyone to like talk to. I feel like that's kind of sad that there is a demand for this, because I don't think I'd be seeing as aggressive marketing if it wasn't somewhat working, you know?
I think you have to take into account all of the things that you look at that aren't necessarily creepy or weird or just like, the fuck? Like, who needs that, right? Like, that have a market. The number of people, like, you could be walking down the street and you don't know the number of people that you would walk by that might have Replica on their phone as you walk by them. Like, there's so many stories that you hear of people that are like, oh, I never thought my brother could do that or my sister could do that. That's not them. And then you're like, bro, apparently you didn't know them because you go into their house and they have fucking shit everywhere of stuff that would just creep a normal person out. It's like, you never know.
Imagine you see someone walking down the street and they have headphones on, but instead of music, it's their AI girlfriend whispering sweet nothings into their ear.
Or no, someone's like on a phone call with their Bluetooth device and they're just talking to their AI girlfriend. Yeah, baby, yeah. I'll be home at 7. It's fucking a robot. Bro, now I'm gonna be thinking every time. What if that happens? What if that's a thing?
Bro, sex dolls in 10 years gonna go crazy.
Makes me think of that Rick and Morty episode where Morty got that sex doll from the other planet. He bought it in that shop. You remember that episode?
Yes,
Gave
yes, I
birth
do.
to the fucking alien.
I'm like, because now that you got me thinking about like chatbots, there was one of the original ones years ago. I'm trying to remember the damn name. It was this like British lady, and there was like clouds in the background. A bunch of YouTubers like KSI and PewDiePie made videos about them talking to this AI chatbot. And I'm trying to remember what it was called, because I've used it as well. They even it got so popular that the creators of this chatbot made a PewDiePie themed bot off of that same technology that was trained off of his videos and like used his TTS bot. I cannot remember for the life of me.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
This is where like, you know, a professional podcaster would have done proper research ahead of their episode, because I can't fucking remember. I'm looking at the goddamn it fucking 2014 YouTubers never linked anything important. But you know, I remember spending
while you're thinking of that,
I'll look it up.
We can kind of shift into the topic of like those AI generated like soundboards. I don't want to say soundboards, but you'll hear, for example, like Donald Trump, Joe Biden, and Barack Obama playing Call of Duty and like having conversations. Like, have you seen those videos? And the voices sound so real. They're like AI generated voices. They take hundreds of hours of recording of people's voices, and they can make them say full-on sentences and have full-on conversations that sound realistic.
Yeah,
and like, so people are starting to use those for scams.
Yes, AI voices. Like, I know there was that meme not too long ago about the U.S. presidents. You know, they used that same AI voice technology to mimic voices from like Obama, Biden, Trump. And they made a bunch of like skits about it. There were a bunch of TikToks about it. They were kind of funny, you know. There was one where they played Overwatch, and I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like those memes. But yeah, you know, that's a good segue into like the more nefarious side of like AI usage. I've heard about those as well, where people will train an AI voice to sound like somebody and then use it for scams and shit like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, but like, did you hear not even just scams, but like ransom calls? They'll train an AI to sound like your daughter, your brother, your son, whatever. And they'll be like, give us this money or we'll kill your son. And then they'll play the voice on the phone. And it sounds like your son. The mom will sit there crying, be like, my son's gonna die, and like the son's fucking at the friend's house, like totally safe. And she just sent thousands of dollars.
I know there was recently a controversy where I want to say, I think it was Skyrim. Somebody took clips that voice actors made in the game Skyrim, used an AI to replicate those voices, and then with those voices made like porn mods for the game. And it was a huge controversy because a bunch of other voice actors, not just those that were in Skyrim and whose voices were used, like started up a discourse about like where do you draw the line ethically, right? These voice actors did not give anyone permission to use their voice, nor did they want their voices used in like pornographic content, right? Mm-hmm. So and on that same note of like porn, I guess there was another controversy a couple months ago. There was a streamer named Atriog who was caught looking at a porn website that used AI to create deep fakes of like popular streamers. That one I know was like,
that's the word.
Yeah. Deep fakes. So the combination of deep fakes along with like AI voice generation can cause some really like bad stuff. You know, we're already in like a misinformation war. This will just make it even worse. Not just that, but like, you know, to have AI cause you to have sort of like your privacy violated, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's tough. Like, how would you even like, I don't know, regulate that?
Well, that kind of goes back to what you asked the question earlier, like where I think AI does and does not belong, right? Like, mm-hmm. I feel like AI is okay and anywhere that actually improves the quality of the general populace. Like AI originally started in like private industry, mm-hmm. of like trying to improve programs, speed things up, whatever. And then people just kind of caught on to the idea that like, oh, we can get these things to do the jobs of people and just get rid of people and save money like that. No, I'm not down for that. Like copying voices, taking jobs from voice actors. Like obviously, possibly not. I don't think they're taking jobs right now from voice actors.
I mean, but like, it's like it could head that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Like all that type of stuff. Streamers, content creators, like it just no. Mm-hmm. Like I get it's funny. It's a good meme right now. It's kind of spreading. People make the fucking funny skits and all that shit. Cool, I guess. But like at the speed at which they can be made, like content's just getting like ripped out left and right. Like you have no idea. Like mm-hmm. there's been a few cases over the years without AI where people are like, oh, you stole my idea. And it's like, I have no idea who you are. We just happen to have the same idea and I got it done first. Like there's been a few cases of that. It happens.
Right, yeah.
Now I can only imagine the number of skits that are being pulled from people because someone was able to AI generate it in fucking an hour. Like, oh, I'm going to just type a few things in some boxes and boom, bam, done. Like,
well, it's great that you mentioned that because that makes me want to bring up like, what about AI generated entertainment? Like, I know we talked about Neurosama and streaming earlier, but what about like entire TV shows? One example I want to give is, I've been watching a lot of this thing called AI Sponge. It is a stream that was generating, like SpongeBob episodes. Like they would take a prompt that was submitted by viewers in the programmer's Discord, and using that one prompt, it would then generate like a 3 to 4 minute SpongeBob episode using like models taken probably from one of like the older GameCube SpongeBob games, and then using AI voices, which we brought up a little bit earlier. And I'm gonna be honest, it was kind of funny. I saw some of these streams, some of these AI SpongeBob streams, and they were pretty funny. And so, you know, it was perfect. It was genius too, because it's exactly for the short form audience that exists a lot on YouTube, because every episode was like 34. So you can just jump in and right away you'll be caught up, because there's not really any like storyline or whatever. It's just individual little bite-sized conversations between like an AI SpongeBob and AI Patrick and all the other Bikini Bottom characters as well. I know there was a similar concept done on Twitch with Seinfeld. There's AI generated Seinfeld, and I think one of the more funny clips that I remember is I think the AI generated Jerry just like walks up to a microwave and like turns it on and just keeps like increasing the timer or something. and it's just like the other AI bots in the episode are trying to talk to each other, and you just hear like a the entire time because the AI got like stuck and doesn't know what to do. But give it a couple years, refine that technology more, that can become a reality where we have AI spitting out episodes of shows. All it takes is you change the script, make it an original show with original characters, and then boom, AI generated entertainment that can be watched online or on your TV or whatever. Like, what do you think about all that?
That's a really touchy topic, especially with what's going on right now with all of like the Netflix and the writers,
the writer strike.
Yeah, like so you are now. It's just such a bad timing because you have all these writers on strike and like for valid reason, like they are being severely underpaid. Like it is crazy how much they're getting ripped off.
We could definitely do a whole episode about that.
Oh yeah, but now imagine you have AI come in and Netflix is like, oh, fuck you guys. We're just gonna make episodes here. Granted, some of Netflix's original shows are fucking ass anyway, even with the writers. Nothing against the writers. Kudos. At least it was made by a person. Someone put their effort, their heart. Like they're like, you know what? I really am into this idea. I want to write this story. Yada yada. Instead of some asshat hopped on a computer and did some typing for a little bit to get something to just spit out. Be like, all right, guys, we're gonna try this.
Aren't some studios already using AI for things like special effects?
That I don't know.
I feel like I've heard.
I haven't heard anything about that.
Let me just double check. AI special effects Hollywood. Yeah. So what a lot. Okay, so okay, I'm reading this article, and what a lot. So yeah, AI is already like being very well used by like Sony, Marvel, all that stuff for special effects. I think the thing that it's mostly used for is again for those deep fakes. Like I think they used AI to recreate Carrie Fisher to finish the new Star Wars trilogy after her passing. I remember they used it to make they used a combination of what was his name in Fast and the Furious.
I was just going to bring him up. Paul Walker. They did that for the end of the last movie.
Yeah, they had his brother like physically play him, and then using his brother's face as a basis along with AI, they were able to like digitally recreate Paul Walker to finish the movie. So AI has already it's already been incorporated into filmmaking. So it's just a matter of like how much further is it going to go? If it's already being used for VFX, what's to stop an executive to be like, all right, let's try having it write a script. I have a feeling for sure there's got to be at least one Hollywood producer that during this writer's strike has decided to log into ChatGPT and play around with it and see, write me a script for Guardians of the Galaxy 4 or some shit like that,
Well, talking about like the CGI AI usage, right? Like I feel like using it for what they used for with Paul Walker.
Yeah.
Perfect champ. Perfect. Like, could you imagine like they're like, oh, Paul Walker passed away. We have to fucking reshoot the movie with a new character. Like they put him in, they kill him off, and then halfway through the movie have like a new, like that would suck. That would have killed the movie. Would have fucked it up the whole way. So like doing that for the last little bit, because if I recall, they only needed to fill him in for like maybe 30 minutes of screen time total. They had most of it done. It wasn't very much.
Yeah, it was basically like the ending essentially.
Yeah, so that, like, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. It's valid. Like, you needed some type of solution that's not going to piss off your viewers. But if you think about, like, all the CGI and shit we have now, like, tools, compared to, like, maybe the tools they had when making Jurassic Park. I saw some on this earlier today. Jurassic Park, for its time, still holds up. Yeah. With the animation and CGI and animatronic. Like, it holds up to this day.
the first Jurassic Park?
I believe so.
Okay, so here's the thing. I know about that. There actually isn't too much CGI in that. The reason why the movie holds up so well is because Steven Spielberg was very particular about using practical effects. A lot of their like animations aren't animations, it's actual physical animatronics. So it's there was some, very basic CGI as well, but I would say like 90% of the effects were all done practically, and then just using editing magic and all that stuff. That's why the movie,
the tools that they had for the time, animatronic, CGI, whatever they use, little bit here, more here, still holds up to this day. Yeah, where almost everything is digital.
Yeah.
Fucking 85% of a Marvel movie is green screen.
Yeah.
Like, you got the people, and then you got everything done on your fucking crazy ass video editors and computer editors, whatever fuck they're using.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's where it's at.
Well, it's because before you used to, and we're kind of getting away from the AI topic. I would definitely be down for like a whole film episode at some point, but
well, I think we're just talking about like
AI
we were
usage.
talking about how it could take away from these jobs, right? So my point is like Jurassic Park. Obviously, they did not have AI.
No,
and
they didn't have that technology back then.
Solid movie. Now maybe we're using more CGI, not as much animatronics. It's fine. They still make great movies, but it's like people doing it, right?
Yeah.
So just based off like what you were showing me with this anime waifu does not exist bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? Like it could be good, but it also could be really shit.
Yeah.
Right? I'd rather trust some people to like actually do what they spent years practicing doing.
Yeah.
Like so mastering their craft.
You said, I want to know your opinion on something. You said earlier that like using AI to recreate the likeness of like a deceased actor to like finish a movie, you were like, okay, that's good use for AI. What about like a voice actor that passes away? To kind of get back into the AI voice topic we were on earlier.
Well, okay.
What's your stance on that?
Here's my question. At what point did like say it's like let's talk TV shows. We both like anime, right? Let's talk anime. So say they finish a season with a voice actor and he passes in between seasons. And then they start the new season either 1 with AI replicating his voice or 2 using a new actor. I would prefer the new actor. Because I know he's dead and it's just going to it's going to be off-putting to me. If I'm hearing a dead person's voice, it's going to be off-putting to me. However, if I hear a new voice, I understand the person died. But if there's like 3 episodes or whatever left in a season, I would like the season to finish with the original voice because it would throw me off compared to if in between the year and a half that it takes for the next season of that anime to come out, it's a new voice. Yeah. By that time, I've probably forgotten that sound of the voice, you know?
Well, for the most part. There are some instances where, like, a voice actor wasn't able to come back to the show, whether it was because they passed or, you know, they, for whatever reason, didn't return. They couldn't get a new contract or whatever, and they've had to replace the voice. And a lot of those cases, I remember seeing online conversations about how they hate the new voice. They don't like the new voice, you know? So it's like...
I think...
Would AI use be justified in that case if it's for the fans, or...
I think that's valid, right? Like, yeah. Obviously, when you watch a show, you're like, oh, that's what this person sounds like. So when you, like, if you watch an anime in sub or dub, either one, and then watch it in the opposite, like, regardless of the English, Japanese, whatever, just the voice itself, you're like, the fuck? Like, it happens to me all the time, but, like, I get it, right? Like, I think that kind of depends on awareness as well. Like, if you're just a casual anime watcher and you don't keep up with that news and you don't know that, hey, so-and-so either died or couldn't renew their contract or whatever happened, and you start up a new episode or a new season and you're just like, what the fuck is this? Just total confusion. It makes sense on why you would hate it. But if you're someone who keeps up with the news and pays attention to like all the studios and like all that stuff, and you're like, oh, so-and-so got fired, but oh, so-and-so's taking over that voice. Oh, I'm kind of excited. I love the work they've done in like these other shows, right? Like, I think it's kind of like a perspective point on that. Because I know in some cases, I'm like, oh, that's so-and-so. And then I Google it, and I'm like, oh, it's not so-and-so, but this so-and-so and this so-and-so actually sound really similar.
Like 2 different seasons, yeah.
Like, really similar, like, people with similar voices that play different characters. I'm like, oh, so, like, that's whatever. I don't care.
I don't know. I think you're right about that, about how it's, like, it's nuanced, and I think it'll vary show by show, character by character. I don't know. It's just... I think it would make it easy if, like, we just knew if, like, a voice actor had, like, or if the studio had, like, the voice actor's blessing, for example. Like, I don't know, like, one I'm thinking that just comes to mind is Mako, the voice actor for Uncle Iroh in the Avatar The Last Airbender series, who did unfortunately pass, I believe, after, it was like the 2nd season or something of the show. They did eventually get a brand new voice actor.
I was gonna say I could have swore I just saw an event not too long ago where I saw the voice of Uncle Iroh like at the event, like giving an award away or
No,
talking to people.
that's the newer voice of Uncle Iroh who replaced Mako in the later seasons. But I'm just trying to think back. I'm like, because this was years ago, so AI wasn't really much of a thing back then. But I'm thinking if that had happened today, right? Would fans prefer a brand new voice actor that sounds kind of similar, but there's a discernible difference? Or if Mako had given the studio permission to like use his voice for an AI generated voice, would they have preferred that? Would they have preferred the voice to stay original and as close as possible? It's like, I don't know. I feel like that's something I don't think we have to answer now. I don't think that technology is there.
Contracts.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it might get to the point where, like, when you sign an original contract, it says somewhere in there, like, yo, if you pass away, we have all the rights to your voice and your likeness to use for however.
Well, they do that with the the face already. I mentioned earlier about, like, the actor's likeness and stuff. That is, I'm pretty sure, part of their contract. Like, should you pass, we have permission to use your likeness for, like, the remainder of this film.
Yeah.
So it's like, what if maybe in the future with AI voice generation, there's not going to be those clauses included in contract where it's like, hey, if you unfortunately pass away, we have permission to use the likeness of your voice to use AI to generate a likeness for the show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What do you think?
It's just such a gray area. Like every time I think like, oh yeah, it should be black and white in this instance or in this instance, I'm like, okay, but maybe not. And it's just like, that's where I think things start to get abused, right?
Yeah.
Like when there's no real black and white because it's just such a volatile area, right? Like there's so many places where AI could be super helpful, super beneficial, but then there's other areas where it could just be fucking abused and screw over like the hard working blue collar people. And it's such a fascinating AI is just such a fascinating topic to keep an eye on because it's like it's made so much progress in such a short amount of time, but it's still not quite where I think society wants it to be. You know, it's really become AI's become one of the most like prominent and transformative technologies of our time. You know, kind of like the internet back in the 90s. You know, it's like no AI, and then ChatGPT came out. Like that was first I remember AI. And then literally within like a couple weeks, there's ChatGPT 2, and then ChatGPT 3, and then TikTok had like 5 AI filters, and then there was AI voices, and like all within like
AI is influencing various aspects of our lives, like from healthcare to even finance. You know, everything in between. It's crazy.
I'm with how hard it progressed. I'm kind of at ease, but kind of not, because it can go one of two ways. Normally, when technological things progress this fast in such a short amount of time, they hit a heavy fucking wall, right? Because what I think happened is people were already working on these things, right? Maybe TikTok was already working on AI filters, whatever, and then ChatGPT came out, and they were like, "Oh shit, we need to get the shit rolling like faster than what we had originally planned," right? And so then they bust through it, they rush it, but now that time they would have taken planning and doing things, right, to maybe even continue to grow at like a steady pace, kind of got bum rushed, and now it's going to hit like a plateau.
It depends on how it's designed to perform specific tasks, you know, like voice recognition or image classification. Tasks can include things like problem solving or like learning from that, decision making, even just like understanding language, you know?
I think like I don't know, would you consider like those programs, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like a Google program. Like say you travel to a foreign country, you can hold it up and it'll start like translating, and you can start doing like all these things like automatically, almost like you can see road signs, it'll translate the road signs in voice to you, like instead of just like a program where you put in the vocab and so like I talk into it and it translates it by putting it out. It's like almost all generated. Like you can look at maps, it'll translate maps, signs, like
we can anticipate AI being integrated into like everyday devices, which makes them smarter and more intuitive. Which again, you know, something like a virtual assistant, you know, they will become more sophisticated, understanding, and be able to fulfill our needs seamlessly.
All right. Well, what was your final thoughts on?
I can't keep this up, guy. My last 5 sentences have been AI generated.
No shot.
I
I was like, bro,
I typed ChatGPT to write me part of a script for a podcast episode where the topic is AI generated.
How awkward I felt. Like, I kept cutting you off because you weren't making sense to me, and I'm just like, okay, I
was waiting for you to say something. I was gonna be like,
I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to. I just felt awkward. I was like, I'm just gonna keep trying to push through this. I'll talk to him after stream about why he was so fucking awkward. Like, bro.
Yeah, it should have been obvious from when I said transformative technologies of our time.
Bro,
like from that sentence onward, everything I said was a ChatGPT script.
Listen, you don't understand, all right? I am trying to be somewhat professional. I didn't want to call you out.
This is the trash guys, dude. You should expect this at this point. Okay, well, God. Before I know you want to wrap up. Before we go, now I need to. After that whole debacle, I need a test to see if you would survive the AI apocalypse. Yeah, we haven't done these in a while, but I want to play a podcast game with you right now. And so, it sounded like you could tell something was a little sussy with, some of the stuff that I was saying just now, but just how well can you differentiate between text that is AI generated versus text that was written by a human? Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to play this game, right? Okay. I am going to give you a topic, all right? It can be a place, an item, whatever. I have 5 topics for you, and I am going to read you 2 encyclopedia-style paragraphs about that topic. One is from Wikipedia, written by a human, and the other was generated by ChatGPT. And I want to see if you could tell the difference between what a human wrote and what an AI wrote. Okay?
All right. I'm down.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so let me go ahead and just pull up the various things that I have ready for you here. All right, so the first topic is butter. I'm going to read you 2 encyclopedia paragraphs about butter. You need to tell me which one's the human one and which one is the AI one, okay?
Okay.
Here we go. Here's paragraph number 1. Butter is a versatile and widely consumed dairy product that has been a staple in many culinary traditions throughout history. It is a natural, semi-solid fatty substance made by churning cream or milk. Renowned for its rich, creamy texture and distinctive flavor, butter plays a significant role in cooking, baking, and as a spread. Okay? And then here is paragraph number 2. Butter is a dairy product made from the fat and protein components of churned cream. It is a semi-solid emulsion at room temperature, consisting of approximately 80% butter fat. It is used at room temperature as a spread, melted as a condiment, and used as a fat in baking, sauce making, pan frying, and other cooking procedures.
I'm gonna have to guess which one's ChatGPT.
Which one's the real one? Which one was you're trying to survive the AI apocalypse. You need to know which was written by a human. If you get tricked by an AI, I'm gonna give you 5. You need to at least get 3. You need to get more, otherwise you're fucking dead. Okay. Which one? Paragraph 1 or paragraph 2? Which one was written by a human?
I think number 1 was written by a human.
Is that your final answer?
Final answer. 2 is very simple. I think ChatGPT just busted out a very simple fucking, this is what butter is.
Okay, you're not starting off very well because the human, paragraph 2 is from Wikipedia, which was written by a human.
Fuck.
The first paragraph was ChatGPT generated. It seems like some people in our chat got it correctly. Good jobs. Cool. You guys, let's see, can you guys outlive Guy in the AI apocalypse? We'll find out.
Probably. I'm a fucking dumb.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and give you the next topic, okay? The next topic is Florida, as in like the state, all right? Here's Florida. Okay. Here's paragraph 1. Florida is a state in the southeastern region of the United States, bordered to the west by the Gulf of Mexico. It is the only state that borders both the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic Ocean. With a population exceeding 21 million, it is the 3rd most populous state in the nation and ranks 8th in population density as of 2020. And then here is paragraph number 2 about Florida. Florida is a state located in the southeastern region of the United States. Situated on the eastern coast of the country, it is bordered by the Gulf of Mexico to the west and the Atlantic Ocean to the east. Known for its stunning beaches, warm climate, vibrant culture, Florida has become a popular destination for tourists from around the world.
Okay, 2 was written by a human.
Is that your final answer?
I swear to God, if you tell me no, because that one was just as simple as the fucking butter one, and the simple one on the butter was the human. I'm gonna lose my shit. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna let some votes come in here. I'm going 2. I'm sticking with 2.
The paragraph that was written by a human is paragraph 1.
No shot.
Yeah,
Bro, why
the paragraph
backwards?
Paragraph
Why are
one.
these backwards?
Paragraph 1 is all from Wikipedia. Paragraph 2 was ChatGPT.
Well, shit.
So
I'm just gonna FF right now. Can I FF?
No, we gotta keep going. You're 0-2. Come on. You gotta try. All right, let's try getting something a little. Let's get maybe something more niche. Something a little more niche.
That makes no sense.
Our
the first one was simple.
Mm-hmm. Our third topic is going to be Twitch, which is the website that we stream on. So
Okay.
I'm going to read you 2 paragraphs about Twitch, okay? You got to tell me which one is from Wikipedia, written by a human, okay?
All right.
Here's paragraph number 1. Twitch is an American video live streaming service that focuses on video game live streaming, including broadcast of esports competitions, in addition to offering musical broadcasts and creative content, and in real life streams. That was in quotes. Twitch is operated by Twitch Interactive, a subsidiary of Amazon Incorporated. It was introduced in June 2011 as a spin-off of the general interest streaming platform Justin.tv. That is paragraph 1. Here is paragraph 2 about Twitch. Twitch is a leading live service streaming platform and community tailored specifically for gamers, but has expanded to include a diverse range of content creators and interests. Launched in early 2011, Twitch provides a digital stage where users can broadcast their live gameplay, engage with viewers, and build a dedicated following. As the largest live streaming platform of its kind, Twitch has become a hub for gamers, esports enthusiasts, and creative individuals alike. So now you gotta tell me, paragraph 1 or paragraph 2, which was written by a human?
Go with 1. Final answer, locked and loaded.
Is that your final answer?
Yep, final answer. Don't look at me.
Are you covering from embarrassment? All right, don't worry. Smile big because you're not dead yet. That is correct.
Hey,
Paragraph
okay.
1. Paragraph
Okay.
1 was from Wikipedia. That is correct.
Oh. Got that dog in me.
All right. Yeah, you still got some catching up to do. All right. You still got some catching up to do.
This is all a bait. I missed those first 2 on purpose. Don't worry.
All right. Well, we're gonna get even more niche because the topic for our 4th set of paragraphs is going to be the video game Among Us.
Oh no.
Right. So here is paragraph 1 about Among Us. Among Us is a multiplayer online video game that has taken the gaming community by storm since its release in 2018. Developed by Inner Sloth, the game offers a unique social deduction experience set in a space-themed setting. Players assume the roles of crew members aboard a spaceship or space station, working together to complete tasks while trying to identify the imposters among them. Okay? And then here is paragraph number 2. Among Us is a 2018 online multiplayer social deduction game developed and published by American game studio Inner Sloth. The game was inspired by the party game Mafia and the science fiction horror film The Thing. The game allows for cross-platform play, released on iOS and Android devices in June 2018, and on Windows later that year in November.
Number 2.
Is that your final answer?
Final answer.
All right. Well, you're getting better at this because that is correct.
Wow.
Paragraph number 2 was from Wikipedia.
K9. Sorry, I got someone in chat that was 3 for 3 and they finally got one wrong.
They finally got one wrong. All right. Yeah. And let's go on to the last one, and then I'll explain how I think you can start to tell the difference.
I think I'm starting to pick up.
All right, don't give away the game plan. We got one more topic.
Okay.
All right, you're 2-2. This answer will determine whether or not you would die in the AI apocalypse. Okay. All right. Here we go. The topic is Harry Potter.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
I know you dressed up as a wizard from Harry Potter when we went to Universal Studios.
Got my Harry Potter cup right here.
There you go. So, would you consider yourself a big Harry Potter fan?
We're about to find out.
let's see if you can tell real Harry Potter from AI Harry Potter. Okay, here are your 2 paragraphs. Here is paragraph 1. Harry Potter is a widely acclaimed and beloved fantasy book series written by British author J.K. Rowling. The series follows the magical adventures of a young wizard named Harry Potter and his friends Hermione Granger and Ron Weasley as they attend the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Spanning 7 books, beginning with Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, parentheses titled Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in the United States, the series has captivated readers of all ages with its intricate world building, compelling characters, and engrossing storytelling. Okay? And here is paragraph number 2 about Harry Potter. Harry Potter is a series of 7 fantasy novels written by British author J.K. Rowling. The novels chronicle the lives of a young wizard, Harry Potter, and his friends Hermione Granger and Ron Weasley, all of whom are students at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. The main story arc concerns Harry's conflict with Lord Voldemort, a dark wizard who intends to become immortal, overthrow the wizard governing body known as the Ministry of Magic, and subjugate all wizards and muggles, parentheses, non-magical people. So you gotta tell me, which one is written by a human?
1.
Number 1? Is that your final answer?
Final answer.
Well,
you stop it, please.
It was nice knowing you, Guy, because unfortunately, paragraph 2 is from Wikipedia, written by a human. You're 2 for 3, which means during the AI apocalypse, I don't think you'll make it that long if you fall for this much AI.
I did. I did.
Good try, though.
Bro, here's the thing, though. Like, some of the ChatGPTs would not give, like, certain details, right? Like publishers and dates and certain things, and it just give general layouts. Other ones, it would give, like on that one specifically, like I was like, oh, okay, they're listing they're putting in parentheses the Sorcerer's Stone, the Philosopher's Stone, like all that stuff. Seems like the very detailed information compared to like the 2 that I got right. Was written by the human. Like when it was talking about Among Us, and it's like the publisher and this date and all that other stuff. I was like, oh, okay, it's on the same. It's like it's me.
What I've noticed is ChatGPT tends to have a bit more of like the societal impact when it comes to their introductory encyclopedia paragraphs, right? Like how the AI Harry Potter talked about how the series has captivated readers, right? During the Among Us, it said phrases like, Among Us took the video gaming community by storm. Twitch was like, oh, it's become a hub for gamers, right? Things like that, right? ChatGPT, for whatever reason, tries to sneak in like some praise and a little bit of, it gives a little bit of detail on what kind of impact it's made on society, you know, a cultural impact. Whereas Wikipedia doesn't really do that. It just gives straight facts. But it does have a lot of the same facts. Like both ChatGPT and Wikipedia had a lot of like the same publisher years or like developer names or authors, and they even phrased it almost exactly alike. Like they both said British author J.K. Rowling. They both mentioned like the different uses for butter in their introductory paragraph. So there's a lot of similar crossovers. So, you know, it sure you went 2 for 3, you lost, but to be fair to you, it was pretty difficult having not read any of those articles.
You rigged it.
I did not rig it. I just okay, just because I didn't make every paragraph 1 Wikipedia and every paragraph 2 ChatGPT, like that's too easy. I had to flop them around a little bit, right? Swap to keep you on your toes. Otherwise, you just do that thing where you guess the same answer and get 50% right. Or whatever. You'd be dead anyway. You'd be fucking. You'd be dead to AI VTubers. So whatever.
Good. Give me my wish. Fulfill my dream. All right. Well, I think on that note, with that little game, me dying, I think it's a good place to call it for this little episode. It was very fun. We kind of ended up in a lot of places that I didn't realize we'd end up with these conversations. But
AI is a very, very topic because it's slowly seeping its way into many aspects of our lives.
Any final notes, Basoda? Any final words?
I am prepared for our AI overlords, I will tier 3 sub to the next AI VTuber.
Oh no. All right. Well, on that note, since Basoda is going to the dark side, we will see you guys next time. If you're going to hang around for stream, hope to see you there. And you guys have a great rest of your night, okay?
Yeah, see you next week for another episode of The Trash Guys. And as always, stay trashy and classy. This is your host number 1, signing off.
Host number 2, signing off. Good night, everybody.
Good night.